Blackwell up front. And the backcourt, Tim Wynn at 5'10", Shandu McNeil at 5'7". And the coach of the Bonnies in his 5th year, St. Bonaventure graduate Jim Barron.
Jim Barron making good steps and his best.
And in the backcourt, 2 newcomers, Juan Pepe Sanchez and Rashid Brokenborough. And the coach of the Owls in his 15th year, John Cheney.
What can you say about John Cheney? He's won 78% of the Atlantic 10 Conference games, and they're almost unbeatable here at McGonigle.
Here's a look at the series. Last year, they played 2 very close ball games. Temple won by 2 in Philly and by 3 in Olean. St. Bonaventure snapped a 24-game losing streak to Temple in the series during the 94-95 season. But keep in mind, the Bonnies have never won at McGonigle. Fran Connolly, Mark DiStaiola, and Murph Shapiro are the officials today. Connolly is the ref. Temple in the home white, the Bonnies in the visiting brown. Juan Pepe Sanchez hands to Brokenborough. Brokenborough averaging over 18 per ball game. He's a sophomore, an academic casualty a year ago. Mark Jackson way off the mark. Rebound put up and in by Lamont Barnes.
And second shots, one thing Jim Barron said that they'd have to hold the Temple Owls off the glass. The freshman Lamont Barnes, an athlete, goes up for the first 2 points of the contest.
Shandu McNeil working the perimeter. The jumper by Rashawn Palmer is rebounded by Brokenborough.
And a quick shot by the Bonnies against the matchup. That's what John Cheney would like, quick shots. You got to be patient against the zone defense.
Pepe Sanchez, the freshman from Argentina, has played a lot of club ball, so big international competition. Hence, he's got a lot of maturity for a freshman.
Played under 22, the international basketball. And when you play that, you get that experience.
That was called on Terrence Durham from behind.
You noticed right away the Bonnies are going to double team inside Mark Jackson. Very difficult for 15 Blackwell to cover Jackson. There comes not much of a foul there by Durham.
Jackson hands back outside to Brokenborough, back to Jackson. Temple loves to go inside and go inside out. Brokenborough call for steps.
John Cheney puts his head in his hands. He hates to see it, but the first-year player, the sophomore, Brokenborough, trying to go quickly, and John Cheney, one of his mottos is speed kills on the offensive end.
Temple is averaging only 10.5 turnovers per ball game. A Cheney game that he likes is under 10 turnovers. McNeil, a lot of pressure off McNeil this year, Ed, and he has responded nicely. You know, if you think back to having Quackenbush and Vanderpool and Nee Nelson Richards, I mean, he could do things but not worry about carrying the load. Last year, he had to carry the load. Exactly. Now he's got Timmy Wynn.
And there you go. Timmy Wynn knocks down a 3. Last year, he had to handle the ball the whole time. He didn't have a complimented guard like a Tim Wynn. And I'm sure McNeil likes to see that freshman coming in, a local product from Niagara Falls, Tim Wynn.
3-2. Bonnies lead it by 1 on the 3-point field goal by Wynn. Brokenborough outside Leonard Stewart. Brokenborough's got excellent range. Has hit 27 threes on the year. Shot clock is down to 5. Sanchez. Jackson with 3. He gets it up. And a rebound pulled in by Robert Blackwell. And the Bonnies look to run. And they've been running more this season, back to the way they were in the 94-95 slate when they went to the NIT. Pressing more and running more. Rebound Sanchez. Brokenborough. And I thought Wynn got away with a little bit of a push.
He definitely did there. You don't see the Temple Owls fast break much. Pepe Sanchez's pass was a little long for Brokenborough. He tried to pick it up with the dribble instead of just picking up the basketball. The second early turnover for the Temple Owls.
McNeil. Palmer. Fans looking for a walk. Durham forced that one.
He didn't want the ball there. Not a good pass by Palmer to give him the ball 15 feet from the basket. He was in trouble, as you said, forced it, and a very poor shot by the Bonnies.
16:50 to go, first half. 3-2, Bonnie's lead. Sanchez, nice look to Jackson.
And what he did so well, Pepe Sanchez, was go away from Jackson, look off the defender, and make the nice entry pass to the post.
Rashawn Palmer averaging 17.4 per ball game to lead the Bonnies. I think he was extra motivated this year, was named only the third-team all-conference club in the preseason picks. And it really got him excited and maybe a little fire under him. Broken Burrow streaks down and lays it in.
When you play the Temple Owls, you don't feel they're going to fast break, but you still have to have court balance on the defensive end. And this time, McNeil and Wynn were not back and let an easy layup for Broken Burrow.
Official timeout. Murph Shapiro wants to create some room underneath the basket. And while we have a whistle off the bench, Kenny McFarland into the ball game, replacing Blackwell for the Bonnies. And remember, last year, McFarland lit it up here at McGonigle. He made 5 3-pointers, finished with 19 points in that 2-point loss.
Well, Kenny McFarland is a streaky shooter, and they like to have him in there, especially against the matchup zone. Corners are vulnerable against this matchup. They're hoping McFarland can get hot this afternoon.
Palmer. Good offensive board by Durham. In traffic. Still loose in there. Finally pulled down by Jackson. Here come the Owls. Sanchez knocked away from behind, and Temple will keep possession. We've got a timeout with 15:45 to go in the first half. Temple by 3.
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you right under your nose, making you look too old?
Whoa, it is sneaking up on me. Up here, too.
You need Just for Men gel, made for the hard-to-color gray of mustaches and sideburns. Simply brush in this no-drip gel, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Gray's gone. Your mustache and sideburns blend perfectly with your natural hair color.
That gray won't sneak up on me again.
Just for Men gel, the sure thing for a natural look.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a full synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
Tune in to Family Talk next week when we'll discuss the connection between snow shoveling and heart attacks. We'll talk about what's up with New Jersey's breastfeeding bill, driver training and safety for teenagers, and the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. So join us for these and many other topics Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. and make Comcast Family Hour your family hour.
Heart of Philadelphia, McGonigle Hall. Owls lead it 6-3. And in transition, Pepe Sanchez makes a lot of good decisions for a newcomer, Ed.
Well, the senior guard, Shandu McNeil, makes a bad decision here. Cross-court, a lob pass. But Sanchez, good angle in the right position. Head up to see that his backcourt mate, Broken Barrel, is going to the hole and puts it in. Shandu McNeil played 44 minutes against the Hawks last Thursday night and had only 1 turnover.
What a great ball game that was at Hawk Hill, with the Bonnies coming up short in double OT. That's 3 times in their last 4 they played double OT with the Hawks. Foul called as Mark Jackson got the offensive board, and it's on the Bonnies. Some big shots in that ball game. Shandu among many that made a couple of big ones.
Well, we saw Lamont Barnes, the freshman, go in there with a good athletic move, and they're just pounding Jackson inside. One guy on the Bonnies, they just don't match up with it. Look at the upper body. Look at the guns on Jackson, the 6'10 junior forward from Philadelphia, played at Roman Catholic High School.
Jackson hits the first free throw. An excellent free throw shooter for a big guy. He's at 75%, averaging 17 points and 8 boards.
Bruce's 6'10" center is the leading free throw shooter on the Owls. They're struggling from the free throw line.
It makes sense, too, because he's going to be there all night long many times.
Exactly, and the way people have to dump down, they're going to be reaching in on John Cheney's center. You're going to get a lot of points at the free throw line if you can knock them down.
8-3, Temple by 5. In the ball game for the Bonnies is Chris Lumsden, the sophomore from Ontario. McFarland for 3. He hits. He picks up where he left off last year in this arena.
Kenny McFarland must like the rims and the background here at McGonigle. He'll be sorry to see the Apollo open up next year.
And here's the full court press employed by the Bonnies, and it forces a 20-second timeout by Temple. So Jim Barron did exactly what he wanted to do, and with this much quicker club than a year ago, he can afford to press, he can afford to gamble a little.
Bruce, you're exactly right. He has all types of defense, full court pressure. He's got McFarland here, who is a quick forward with wind. That's a great double team trap. You're in a box because you have the baseline, the sideline, and the 2 defenders, and it causes a timeout for Temple. One thing Temple will do when they're pressed, they normally attack, but they don't try to score. So why not? The Bonnies will probably try to press all night long if Temple doesn't try to hurt them by scoring the basketball.
Thus far in the ball game, the Owls are 3 for 6 from the field. Bonaventure with 5 of their 7 shots thus far from behind the arc. Temple brings Mark Jackson to help out breaking the press. Pepe Sanchez guarded by McNeil.
Zone defense looks like a little 1-3-1 by the Bonnies.
He'll show a lot of different looks. 3-point shot missed by Brokenborough. Stewart. And it will not count. Offensive foul on Leonard Stewart. And Cheney is up in arms.
It looked like he got there a little bit late, the defender for Bonaventure. Leonard Stewart saw a wide open lane here. He gets the ball back right away from Sanchez. Wide open, he's going to jam it. And yeah, I think Lumpson was way late coming into the picture. And definitely Cheney looks like he's in the right on this one.
To say that John does not look pleased would be an understatement. McNeil for 3. Brokenborough gets the board. Here's Pepe Sanchez. And he is fouled, and now Jim Barron is upset. It's a reach-in foul on Palmer. You know what? Sanchez reminds me a little bit of Brunson. He's big, 6'3", 6'4". He's also a lefty.
Well, exactly, the lefty. And he has different speeds on the basketball. He tries to lull you to sleep, and then he has that burst of speed like Brunson had for the Temple Owls.
Can he hit the 3 the way Brunson did?
Well, that's what John Cheney's hoping. But remember, Rick Brunson didn't hit the 3s early in his campaign. He was one of the Brick brothers here at the McGonigle.
Leonard Stewart got it. So Leonard makes it a little bit easier this time, and this one counts.
And it's real important to Leonard Stewart. He has to complement Jackson inside. Very good athlete. Has to play with confidence, and in that he had a nice stroke of the basketball.
And he was holding his wrist after that shot. I don't know if he hurt himself going to the hoop on that drive. That steps on Palmer. Temple ball leading 10-6, 13:52 to go, first half of play.
You do not want to rush it against the Temple Owls. Rashawn Palmer tries to get in the seams. Temple does a good job double teaming the ball once you get in there. So if you do penetrate, you better be ready to make the pass.
Stewart. Brokenborough open. As usual, the Owl starters log a lot of minutes. What a steal by Shandu McNeil, who lays it up and in. He's now within 5 steals of the all-time Bonaventure steals record.
He is so quick. I mean, Leonard Stewart saw him coming, couldn't pick the basketball up in time because Shandu McNeil at 5'7" was all over it, taking it coast to coast.
30 steals on the year for Shandu. Bonnie's within 2.
Now let's
Jackson,
get the attack.
Brokenborough 2-on-1, and he pulls up, and not a good foul there by Tim Wynn. Way outside on a 2-on-1. You don't want to foul the guy firing.
Yeah, that's a poor foul there because it was a 3-point shot. They were getting back on defense. Temple did attack, but I don't know if you want to shoot the 3-pointer that far out.
Huey Futch replaces Leonard Stewart for the Owls. Futch, the only senior who really plays for Temple. And now in the ball game is James Singleton replacing Tim Wynn for the Bonnies. And at the free throw line, Rashid Brokenborough.
Here's Brokenborough's three coming in. I can still hear Chuck Daly ringing in my ears, don't foul the jump shooter. All coaches, when they go up there, you don't have the angle, don't foul him. He puts him on the line for 3 shots. Remember, it's past the 3, and they're looking at his wrist.
And it's that right wrist, as you can see. And I think it happened on that drive along the baseline. So it's 12-8 Temple. They continue to work on Leonard Stewart on the sidelines. Shandu McNeil, nice feed to Lumsden. Blocked away. Rebound, McFarland. He puts it back up. Still loose. Pepe Sanchez comes down with it, and it goes out of play.
Early, we've seen the Bonnies. If you're Temple, you must handle the basketball, get your body between the defender and the ball, because they're very good at stealing the basketball and coming up. They're second in the Atlantic 10 in steals.
So Sanchez, Futch, and Brokenborough are playing the perimeter. Jackson is held by Lumsden. That's a tough assignment for Chris. Good to see him back. He missed the year before last with a dislocated shoulder, and then all of last year following shoulder surgery. He's a sophomore from Shanty Bay, Ontario. And they like the contributions he's made. Another steal by the Bonnies. Singleton, McNeil. Rebound Futch. Bonnies are putting it up from long range every time down. Brokenborough misses a 3. And it goes out of bounds to St. Bonaventure. I don't think we're going to have to worry about the shot clock.
Well, you know, they're both long-range shots. There, Brokenborough probably was better off holding up a little bit and trying to get the ball into Jackson. They've been doing a good job. Again, if you get it into Jackson, that will open up the outside, and Brokenborough will get a better look at the basket.
Lumsden. Good look to McFarland. He misses the 3. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Bonnies. Temple basketball. Timmy Wynn back in, replacing Shandu McNeil for St. Bonaventure.
One thing is obvious early in the game, that the Bonnies offense is all coming from the perimeter. Nothing inside against the matchup zone.
Foul on Singleton. As again, Jim Barron employing that full court press. First personal on Singleton. Bonnies 7-4 overall, and they won the Arizona State Tribune Classic, beating UAB and Arizona State. That was just a terrific tournament victory for them. Timeout taken as the ball just couldn't be entered. And so the Owls have had to use a couple of timeouts. That'll be a 20 as well. Remember, this year in NCAA hoops, you're allowed 3 20s in a half. Must use at least 1. Only 2 can accrue to the second half.
Bruce, is not a turnover, but he's had to use the 2 quick timeouts because Barron's defense has been excellent. It's a 3-1-1 full court pressure, trying to trap in the corners. One thing is Temple's getting the ball too low, the foul line, towards the baseline, and creating that box there. And John Cheney's talking about throwing over the top of that defense.
Bonnies D this year, what a dramatic turnaround from last season. They are ranked in the top 4 in the A-10 in many statistical categories. Look at them in steals, 11.3 per ball game. They lead the conference in turnover margin. Brokenborough puts it up. Short, excellent block out by McFarland. McFarland plays catch with Wynn. Palmer slashing. That shot was altered. Nice play by Lamont Barnes, because if you're going to save it, don't save it near your own hoop. He threw it all the way down the court, and now John Cheney has been teed up. Murph Shapiro had heard enough, and he gives Cheney a tee, and John is just very unhappy.
This is the 9th year in the season, 5-4, the Temple Owls, and John really hasn't been up much this season right now. He's upset in the first couple plays of the game when Menard Stewart went into the basket and they called the offensive foul. That's what set John off.
So Tim Wynn taking the free throw, 71% free throw shooter. Rare to see a freshman at the line, but Wynn has such a good stroke.
And maybe John Cheney's doing it for a wake-up call for the troops.
Well, we'll take timeout while Cheney and company regroup. Owls by 2.
The men's hair care experts at Consort have a message for guys losing it a little. The rest of you guys, go blow dry something. So, what are you gonna do about it? The weave? The great comb over? There's a new solution. The Consort Hair Regrowth System. Scalp cleaning shampoo, topical solution with minoxidil without a prescription. It's a fact. Consort's the only system that cleans the scalp and regrows hair in one package. Stand back. I'm gonna try it. Hey, Consort can regrow hair.
Take the journey. Side Trek, where ancient Egyptians majored drug addicts. Cocaine and nicotine recently found in mummies suggest they were, but these substances weren't actually discovered for another 2,000 years. Were they embalmed or bombed? You decide. The Curse of the Cocaine Mummies on Side Trek, Monday at 9 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Sure, there are people with just one side, but most people have quite a few. And because you have more sides, you connect with other people who do. Like the people at Comcast, for instance. We've got stuff for your active side, your serious side, your light side, and the dark side. Even great shows you can't see anywhere else. Because no matter what mood you're in, we're out to stay on your good side. Comcast, everything you connect with.
12-10, Temple leading by 2. This copyrighted telecast is produced by Authority, the Atlantic 10 Conference, intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlantic 10 Conference is strictly prohibited.
Good spacing here by the Temple Owls.
Timmy Wynn almost lost it. Owls playing that matchup very aggressively right now.
That's exactly right. They've extended it to half court after the timeout.
And why not? Because the Bonnies are launching from three-point land. Tim Wynn gets the field goal. He's got 27 threes on the year. That's his first of the ball game.
He has 8 of the 13 points for the Bonnies, and why not? The Bonnies full court pressure against the Owls.
And it's been bothering Temple. Bonnies with the lead, 13-12. Futch for 3. Good offensive rebound by Lamont Barnes and a foul called against St. Bonaventure.
And that's a problem. Tim Wynn, I believe, is going to pick up his second foul. Obviously, a mismatch at 5'10", and Lamont Barnes at 6'9", trying to block out in that zone defense. This quick shot by Fudge, but Barnes, who they're high on, the freshman from Hopkins, Kentucky, gets the rebound.
Second foul on Wynn. Lamont Barnes, freshman, way off the mark. And Wynn gets the rebound, and he soared for that one. Long lead, McFarland, and McFarland is fouled by Brokenborough. So a plethora of whistles in the early going.
Probably not a good decision to make this long pass. Brokenborough back, and they're going to call a foul on Brokenborough. They're calling it awfully tight early in the contest.
17 fouls thus far against the Bonnies. 2 against Temple. And we still got 10:45 to go in the first half. So keep an eye on that number. Temple could be on the free throw line for quite a while in this half. Shandu McNeil. James Singleton. Rashawn Palmer, and he's got a nice stroke on the baseline. Here's that pressure.
A lot of teams find that baseline shot, and Rashawn Palmer knocks it home.
15-12. Bonnies lead it by 3. And on a pretty good run right now, 7-0.
They forgot Jackson, though. They've been hitting everything from the outside. Where's Mark Jackson? They established him early, but they're not going back to him.
But outside Sanchez. Shot clock at 6. Pepe puts it up and in.
Pepe Sanchez using the height advantage at 6'3" versus the 5'7" McNeil, and uses the glass. Nice soft touch.
Pepe more of an offensive threat with 3 straight double-figure ball games. Palmer. Back outside McFarland. Bonaventure very patient right now against this zone. Palmer. Palmer's missed 3 or 4 in this game, Eddie, that have gone in and out.
Well, it looks like a slingshot he's throwing up there. Not much air under the ball. Projection not very good. There's a projection one.
Wow, that was a somewhat air ball. Hit the backboard, nothing else.
An awfully quick shot, too, by Sanchez, the freshman coming down. Rotate the ball a little bit, you get a better look. Here's Sanchez bringing it down, and he's just saying he's going to fire it up. He had it in his mind to shoot the basketball, got lucky to get it back.
Robert Blackwell in for the Bonnies. Leonard Stewart, injured wrist and all, back in for Temple, and Sanchez connects along the baseline.
And maybe John Cheney said, hey, Pepe, you're back in your range. Nice move, the lean-in jumper.
Shandon McNeil. And that's not the way that you break pressure against the zone. You just can't dribble through it, especially with the multitude of long arms.
Exactly.
In this ball.
The only thing going for him, though, Shandu, because he doesn't have the size, is the quickness if he can get through a couple guys. But Temple does a nice job trapping when you try to get into the seams of the zone.
At 5'7", he can go through their legs. Singleton missing the 3, rebound Jackson. So now Temple up by 1, quelling that 7-0 run with 4 straight of their own. Bonnies have taken 11 threes already in the ball game. They've made 3. Temple 0 for 4. Sanchez launches one. Rebound pulled down by Blackwell.
That was past the international line. That was NBA range.
McNeil. Singleton open. Rebound McFarland. Rebound McFarland. Rebound Jackson. And a frustration foul called on Palmer. Not a good one. Fran Connolly settles him down.
And a real hard foul there as he's slapping in. He got upset because when Jackson got that ball, watch Jackson's elbows when he finally comes up. The Bonnies are crushing the boards. When Jackson does get the rebound, he puts the long arms and the big elbows out. You see the elbow, and Palmer doesn't like it and slaps at him.
So here we are at 8-11 of the first half, and over the limit are the Bonnies. And at the free throw line, Mark Jackson for 1 and 1. Into the ball game, Julian Dunkley for Temple, a freshman from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And Mark Jackson at the free throw line, 1 and 1. Temple 14 boards in Bonaventure 7. It's a weakness of the Bonnies. It's a strength of the Owls. And can the Owls capitalize on
Well,
it?
the Owls can capitalize. The problem with the Bonnies, they don't shoot the ball well from the outside. If you don't shoot it, you're only going to get 1 shot. That's a major problem. So better be a very good look at the basket. They have got nothing inside the Bonnies have on the offensive end.
Lane violation called against Temple. So that second free throw, whether it went in or not, would not have counted. Tim Wynn back in, so it's Wynn and McNeil in the backcourt. Blackwell, Singleton, and Durham up front for the Bonnies. McNeil penetrates, knocked away. Good play, Leonard Stewart. Wynn picks up the loose ball.
How tough is Tim Wynn? He's got ice water through the veins, only at 5'10", and remember, a freshman going right in there, taking on Mark Jackson, first team All-Atlantic 10 last year, and puts in his 10th point on the afternoon.
Wynn averaged 25.5 per ball game in high school. Here's the Temple inside-out attack. Stewart pulls up, got it.
Hey, Bruce, I like the way Leonard Stewart's putting the ball on the floor. Good power dribble, not a lot of dribbles, but getting in good position to make his shots.
Some say as Stewart goes, so go the Owls. Singleton, 3. He rifles it in.
Singleton only shooting at a 28% clip from three-point range, but he had the good look straight on. And again, the way to beat Temple sometimes is got to shoot the ball from the perimeter because they're taking away the inside game.
Here's the pressure by the Bonnies. Better hustle. 10-second violation if they don't get it across. Stewart finally gets it over. Just beating the time clock. And on the other end of the floor, a big three by Julian Dunkley.
And he comes in, the 6'9" freshman, with a rep for knocking it down from the outside. He can shoot the basketball, struggling this year, but only a freshman.
Owls by 2. Wynn misses the three. Gets his own board. McNeil for 3. Back in front go the Bonnies. 23-22 at the 6:35 mark.
And their second shots, the last 2 possessions have been second shots for the Bonnies, and they've converted with long rebounds off their first misses.
Barnes back outside Brokenborough. Brokenborough takes the field to the hoop, loses the ball out of bounds. And it still will be Temple basketball and a timeout on the floor. 23-22. Bonnies lead it.
You are a machine, a force to be reckoned with. To keep all pistons firing, you've got to feed the machine. And the fuel you need is right here in Men's Health. Get rock-hard abs now, 6 different ways, and no sit-ups. Discover superfoods for instant energy and fat burning. Eat what you want and still lose weight. Only Men's Health delivers the latest information that talks to real guys, like the ultimate 20-minute workout to sculpt a body that says power. Call for your free trial issue. Keep it and get a full year for $19.97. You'll also get 3 books free. 100 Ways to Burn Fat Faster, the Men's Health Guide to Intimacy, and Quick and Healthy Cooking for Men. When it comes to romance, Men's Health reveals what she really wants and shows you how to make your relationship intense and incredibly pleasurable. Subscribe now for just $19.97. Cancel anytime and keep the free books. You're a machine. Try Men's Health today. Be the machine.
Check out the area's top high school athletes by watching Comcast Scholastic Sports Weekly. Each week, we'll feature outstanding local high school athletes who make a difference in their sport. We'll have in-depth interviews plus scores and highlights that recap the week's events. No matter what the sport or the season, we'll be there. So let us be your source for Scholastic Sports. Check out Comcast Scholastic Sports Weekly exclusively on the Comcast Network.
23-22, St. Bonaventure with the lead over Temple. A little over 6 to go, first half at McGonigle Hall. And St. Bonaventure not afraid to put it up from long range.
Well, they're living by the three-point range. Brokenborough for Temple. Let's Wynn get back in the picture. Good following his shot. He doesn't block him out. Wynn sees the pressure of the big guys coming at him, knocks it back out to his teammate, and McNeil knocks down the 3.
So you can see that St. Bonaventure's already launched 13 three-pointers in the game. They've made 5. Here's the shot selection. The Bonnies preferring the three-point route. Thus far, the Owls with their power game going inside, which would be expected.
Right, maybe the Bonnies looked at the standings. Temple 11th in three-point defense.
Pepe Sanchez just beats the shot clock. Leonard Stewart has the board. Oh, what an offensive rebound and put back by Leonard Stewart.
With the bad right wrist, the shooting wrist, it wasn't bad there as he sends it home.
He had 11 points and 9 boards against Rhode Island, and he's feeling it so far today. Sanchez with the long board. Owls up by 1. 5.5 to go in the first half. Sean Hahn of Dayton will like those numbers, more 3s than 2s.
That's right. Back to the zone defense for the Bonnies. They keep showing different looks to the Temple Owls on the defensive end.
Julian Dunkley outside Sanchez. Dunkley. Brokenborough. Kept alive by Stewart. Rebound pulled down by Shandu McNeil. Shandu in transition loses it to Sanchez. He has Brokenborough. And a great steal by Timmy Wynn from behind. And now a held ball as Brokenborough and Durham get tied up, and the arrow favors St. Bonaventure. What about the hustle there of Wynn?
Well, they get back. They're so quick here. Good job, Pepe Sanchez. But you have to know when you catch it and you feel you're wide open, you're never open because of Wynn and McNeil can run you down.
St. Bonaventure trailing by a point. The only bad loss this year the Bonnies feel is that loss to Buffalo. Otherwise, they lost to Wisconsin, at Virginia Tech, and at St. Joe's in double OT. And that's traveling on McFarland. So you think about it, Ed, they already have a win over GW, over Arizona State. 7-4, good start for St. Bonaventure with this new look team.
Well, preseason, everyone said GW was probably the best team in the West. Well, they went up there to the Riley Center and lost, holding Alexander Cool to just 2 points.
And making Shante Rogers commit 8 or 9 turnovers.
With 1 assist, so they've done a good job on the defensive end. Everything is on the defense.
Jackson. And it's tipped in. And there's the strength of Mark Jackson and the fortitude. Good follow.
That's one thing I think they got to do is force feed Mark Jackson. It'll open it up for them on the outside. If they can get the ball inside to Jackson, they won't have that tough jumper with a hand in their face.
Temple leads by 3. McFarland air ball. Jackson rebound, has it taken away. Durham misses. And it goes out of bounds, and St. Bonaventure will keep possession. Official timeout. Temple's lead is 3 in this first half of play at McGonigle Hall.
Place to be.
I like the people I've met here.
There's always something to do.
Temple is definitely the best choice for me.
I can't say enough about why people should choose Temple.
Comcast Newsmakers segments on CNN's Headline News are becoming a big success. Host Lynn Doyle asks her VIPs all the right questions. Lynn was recently a guest on Family Talk, where viewers got to call in and voice their opinions.
I believe the local government is what affects us all most. I'm a fan of your Newsmaker show. I've been watching for a long time.
You're so relaxed with your guests.
Watch Comcast Newsmakers every half hour on CNN's Headline News.
I'd love to watch a movie tonight. Have you checked what's on Comcast Home Theater?
Hey, that's a great idea. I didn't feel like going out to the video store. Turn on Sneak Preview and see what's on.
Hey, there's a movie on at 8 we haven't seen. I'll call the 800 number to order.
And I'll pop the popcorn. I'm so glad we got this Comcast converter so we can order Comcast Home Theater movies instantly. We get the same movies as the video store without leaving home.
And we can get the movies we want with no returns or late fees.
And we can tape it.
Movie's ready.
Popcorn's almost ready.
Comcast Home Theater.
What a great idea.
Bruce Beck, Ed Stefanski at McGonigle Hall, where the Owls lead the Bonnies in a very well-played first half. 3-point lead.
Pepe Sanchez doing a job trying to go up with the long rebound, comes off. Leonard Stewart has been all over the glass, comes in and sends it down. He's saying he has tougher in the playground when he plays against his brother Larry and Steve as he goes in. And Larry with the Vancouver Grizzlies, Steven with the 1995 MEAC Player of the Year. Nice basketball family, the Stewarts.
Temple with the ball and a 3-point lead. Wow, look at those numbers in the paint. Dominated by Temple. So the paint belongs to Temple and the perimeter belongs to the Bonnies. Dunkley. Foul called. It's on Durham. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a special look at wonderful man Jim Maloney, and you can see the Shamrock there and the empty seat next to John Cheney. He was a man who was admired and loved by so many in the Temple community. Jim Maloney, who passed away on May 3rd, and we got a nice feature look at Jim at the half. We'll also have stats and highlights, and you kind of can feel for John Cheney too. That seat's empty, and there's a reason for it, because Jim Maloney was next to him. He was his friend for so many years.
He was his best friend, and good things are happening, though, as Matt Maloney, his son, who played at the University of Pennsylvania, now at the Houston Rockets, a Cinderella story. They came in and beat the Sixers last night, so Matt doing well. He just wished his dad was here to see him in the NBA.
Palmer. I'll tell you, very active is Durham on both sides of the floor. Ball goes out of bounds, and it still will be Bonnie basketball. Now Lumsden is in, replacing Durham, and he looks pretty good. Remember, last year he was out most of the season with that ACL.
He's doing a good job banging the boards, and he's in there physically. He's got to convert. When he gets in there, he has to make Temple pay for it.
Lumsden missing. Kept alive, and Sanchez pulls down the rebound. There's the advantage of the 6'3" guard. Temple's lead is 4 with 2.5 to go in the first half. Important minutes here for St. Bonaventure. Jackson lays it in.
How easy was that as the entry pass from Stewart, the step to the middle of the defense and lays it in way too easy.
9 for Jackson. Palmer off the mark. Sanchez with another board. He loses it out of bounds. And it'll be Bonnie basketball.
A lot of first half turnovers for the Temple Owls. They only come in at 10.5 a game, and the trademark for Cheney in the offensive end is not to give the ball up. 9 first half turnovers.
And there's a foul on Sanchez, holding Blackwell outside. Temple has outscored St. Bonaventure 7-zip over the last 2:20. This 6-point lead is their biggest in the game. 14 fouls on Temple still only. 9 team fouls on the Bonnie. McNeil outside Rashawn Palmer, and again, active hands by Pepe Sanchez. St. Bonaventure needs a hoop. They played a good first half. They don't want to go into the locker room down close to double digits. It could just as easily be 2. Win is called for traveling.
Well, right there, McNeil did a good job making the 2 top guys on the zone defense for Temple to commit and cover him. Wynn stepped in. He didn't think he had the jump shot. Did not put the ball on the floor. He won't.
And St. Bonaventure's pressure, which has been very much evident in this first half, and that's something that John Cheney will address at the break.
This is killing them, turnovers here in the first half. They have a 6-point advantage, but 10 turnovers in the first half. That's their average for the season.
Rashawn Palmer outside for Timmy Wynn. McFarland dumps it in.
You don't have to rush it.
McFarland fires. He misses the 3. Blackwell last touched the ball, and it will be Temple basketball.
Good job by Dunkley, the freshman, to get inside Blackwell, the senior, to shield him off. Jimmy Barron wants to make a substitution.
James Singleton is back in, as is Shandu McNeil. Ed, the Bonnie's decision-making on their shooting has not been very good the last 3 or 4 minutes, and they also look a bit tentative, whereas early in the game, they were just throwing the 3s up without any conscience.
Well, they really are rushing it a little bit. They're trying to over-penetrate in the zone. They're looking for a skip pass. If it's not there, you can't pass the basketball. They got to fake the ball, make Temple commit themselves. Now there's a quick shot again by Temple. Not waiting for them to get down on the offensive end. Not waiting for Jackson to get in the middle of the offense.
And that time it was the freshman Dunkley, a 20-second timeout taken by Jim Barron, and the Bonnies trailing by 6 with 1:11 to go in the half.
If I was Mark Jackson and I'm 6'10", 270, he can say what he wants. I'd say, yo, guys, wait for me to get down there. How about if you come into me? Believe me, I'm a good passer. I'll pass the ball back out if I don't have it. Get the ball inside, outside. That's how John Cheney likes to play it. Establish Jackson and make the Bonnies collapse that defense.
Elsewhere in the city today, an early start, a 12:45 start over at the Spectrum, the Core State Spectrum, and LaSalle with a solid win over Dayton. So LaSalle gets their first conference victory. They improved to 6-5, and Dayton, which had won 2 straight, including that 98-91 win over Xavier, drops to 7-5, 1-2 in the league.
Well, I'm sure LaSalle shot better than 19% what they did against UMass, so Speedy Morris gets the first Atlantic 10 win. 19%, they're not going to beat a CYO team.
And yet they were still in the ball game.
Well, how do they beat Dayton? Dayton just beat Xavier. Throw out the records when you're playing Atlantic 10 games.
Temple with the ball and a 6-point lead, 45 seconds to go in the first half. Sanchez, by the way, has 7 rebounds. He's played a nice floor game and has been active. Brokenborough missing. And the Bonnies could use the hoop here. Shot clock is off. 30 seconds to go in the half.
And Jim Barron has instructed McNeil to go for the last shot. Let's see if Temple just stays in the matchup, packing it in, and McNeil will just hold it out.
Singleton hands to McNeil. McNeil with 8 points. Wynn with 8. McFarland with 3 for the Bonnies in the first half. So it's been the backcourt. 5 seconds to go. Singleton way off the mark, and Sanchez has another rebound as the half has come upon us.
Well, an excellent look there. They just can't knock it down. They're getting some good looks. They got to be more confident shooting the basketball in the second half.
So Temple with a 7-0 run to end the first half, and they go into the locker room up 29-23. Stay with us. Our halftime show is coming up, including that special look at longtime Owl Jim Maloney. We'll be right back.
Once in a while, if you wait long enough, you get to see this or this. But why wait when you can have bunches of crunches? Hot on the heels of ChoiceMark's Smash Hit Sports Video Series comes the Amazing Sports Video Collection. All new and only from ChoiceMark. 5 tapes, hours of entertainment, just $19.95. They even poke fun at superstars like Deion Sanders and Sir Charles Barkley. Call now. These are some bone-crunching, hair-raising, side-splitting bloopers most never before seen on TV.
Before the day begins, you need to wake up to something new.
This is Wake Up New Jersey, live on the Comcast Network.
So wake up every weekday at 6 a.m. for the latest news, sports, weather, traffic, plus the ever-present Jim Gerhardt.
And spend your morning with us because it's time to Wake Up New Jersey.
You need to start your day the right way. Tune to Wake Up New Jersey, only on the Comcast Network.
Catch all the excitement of college basketball as the Comcast Network continues with Hoop 7. We cover more games of your favorite teams from Philadelphia and New Jersey. Let the Comcast Network be your source for men's and women's NCAA basketball. We'll give you exclusive coverage on and off the court. So check out Hoop 7 exclusively on the Comcast Network.
Just in, WKTL Weather Watch reports a possibility of snow today.
Next time, check the Weather Channel for early warnings on weather conditions 24 hours a day. The Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
You sell direct broadcast satellite systems, DBS.
There's nothing illegal about that.
If I buy a satellite system, I still have to arrange to purchase programming, right?
Well...
But with cable TV, I already have all the top-rated channels, and there's no equipment to buy.
I have no control over that.
With satellite TV, those same top-rated channels could actually cost more than cable TV, and you still don't carry local channels.
I don't have to answer that. I don't have to answer that.
If you're thinking about satellite TV, you might want to think twice. Comcast, still the best value in quality entertainment.
I'm not hiding anything.
Temple Owls finished that first half impressively with a 7-0 run. They lead the Bonnies by 6 after break. Temple with a 19-2 edge in points in the paint. Mark Jackson leading the way with 9 points. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at longtime Temple Owl assistant coach Jim Maloney, who passed away this past spring. Stay with us.
There's a lot of teas out there, but there's only one classic tea, the Hanes Beefy Tea. For little guys, or big guys. For colors. For softness, nothing is softer, absolutely nothing. Remember, without beefy, it's just a tea.
You are a machine, a force to be reckoned with. To keep all pistons firing, you've got to feed the machine. And the fuel you need is right here in Men's Health. Get rock hard abs now, 6 different ways, and no sit-ups. Discover superfoods for instant energy and fat burning. Eat what you want and still lose weight. Only Men's Health delivers the latest information that talks to real guys, like the ultimate 20-minute workout to sculpt a body that says power. Call for your free trial issue. Keep it and get a full year for $19.97. You'll also get 3 books free. 100 Ways to Burn Fat Faster, the Men's Health Guide to Intimacy, and Quick and Healthy Cooking for Men. When it comes to romance, Men's Health reveals what she really wants and shows you how to make your relationship intense and incredibly pleasurable. Subscribe now for just $19.97. Cancel anytime and keep the free books. You're a machine. Try Men's Health today. Be the machine.
Revolution is a sudden, complete, or radical change.
New spirit.
What a play!
New attitude.
Coleman rocks it home.
And I'm back.
What a play by Iverson.
It's not just a game.
It's a revolution.
6, 10, and 20 game ticket plans available. Call now.
Oscar De La Hoya, world champion. The golden boy from East L.A. Miguel Angel Gonzalez, 2-time champion. The #1 contender. De La Hoya, America's rising superstar. Gonzalez, Mexico's best. Be there when this border dispute erupts into the battle for pride and country. Plus 3 more world championship fights and Butterbean. Live on pay-per-view, presented by Caesars Palace. Saturday, January 18th, live on pay-per-view. Call to order.
Welcome back to McGonigle Hall, and at the half, the Temple Owls lead St. Bonaventure by a score of 29-23. You know, this past May, the Temple Owls lost an integral part of their community, Jim Maloney, who was here for 23 years as an assistant coach. He was a loving father, husband, coach, and friend. This year, the Owls will wear the shamrock with the JM inscribed upon their uniforms to honor the late Jim Maloney. Larry Rosen now with a closer look.
It is still shock tinged with sadness. It is still nearly beyond the bounds of reality. After 23 years and 689 basketball games, Jim Maloney is no longer on the Temple Owl bench. He spent 14 years, literally and figuratively, at the elbow of John Cheney. Maloney had been a head coach before, had assisted under Cheney's predecessor at Temple, but this relationship, this symbiosis, would define the lives of both men, in the gym and out.
In order to teach youngsters can never ever get tired of learning. You must always teach through the teeth of fatigue. You should never ever get tired of learning, because learning is forever. So how could you get tired? And that's something that Jimmy would do. He would go ABC, right back to A. Repetition, repetition, repetition. One of the greatest teachers that I know, and followed every letter of the alphabet, which is what I wanted from any one of my coaches, and right now I sort of like miss that.
That and so much more. Coach, friend, devout in his spiritual life, and oh yes, father. In recent years, Coach Maloney, after an early morning Temple practice, would scoot cross town to the University of Pennsylvania, where his son Matt was enjoying a record-breaking career. Jim would frequently say that Matt would flourish as an NBA point guard. Many thought it was the father talking, not the coach. Now, just months after suffering a heartbreaking loss, Matt is fulfilling his father's vision with the Houston Rockets, carrying the lessons well learned.
For on the basketball floor, the greatest thing he's taught me, and it's helped me immensely at this level, is the saying he used to say is that the faces change, but the game remains the same. And that means that the one thing that stays consistent is the game of basketball. You may be playing with superstars such as Charles Barkley or Hakeem Olajuwon, or back in the Ivy League or in high school, but the one thing that remains consistent is you're playing basketball. And I think that's helped me in the transition.
But there are still nights when the mind wanders to moments, to images, to dreams shared, dreams realized, like senior night at Pennsylvania.
Looking back on it, I look at the tape and it's just a very emotional moment for me now, and at the time it was it was a great experience just to have him go out there and just to reap the rewards and benefits of all the things he had taught me and all the things he helped me with. We were glad about the success I had at Penn and everything I'd done there and what I accomplished, but at the same time, we knew it was the beginning of my now professional career, and that we had a new endeavor ahead of us, and we want to excel at this level.
Yes, the continuum of Jim Maloney's life, reflected in the eyes of his family and the eyes of his best friend, confidant, brother, John Cheney.
I think I'm going to have moments. I'm going to have really tough moments. I'm going to have some moments where I'm going to really be in tears. I'm going to be frustrated, upset, whatever. But I'm always going to try to remember that the low times that Jimmy was with me, I'm going to remember the times when I get upset when I lose a few ball games and I go in my office and shut the door and I start cussing and fussing at the Lord. And Jimmy would come into the office and say, shh, you got to be quiet because the Lord might come late, but he always comes.
On May 3rd, 1996, he came for Jim Maloney.
Kid, you got the talent, but you got a problem. You're too nice. I'm gonna make you bad.
Okay, Mr. Lambert.
Man, get out of my face. Good, very good.
What lower round draft pick just might stun the NBA by becoming his team's leading rebounder this year? The Sporting News knows. Do you? What hot goalie will dominate NHL offenses to power his team to a great season? The Sporting News knows. Do you? What surprising rookie sensation could send his team soaring into the Super Bowl? The Sporting News knows, and you can too when you call now to claim your no-cost 4-issue Sporting News mini subscription. Plus, reserve these great sports binoculars free. When it comes to the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NHL, nobody keeps you in the know quite like the Sporting News. What GM's blockbuster trades will turn his pretenders into pennant contenders next season? The Sporting News knows, and now you will too. Call now for your no-cost 4-issue Sporting News mini subscription. If you like it, get 24 more issues, 28 in all, for 4 easy payments of just $4.99. Plus, get these great binoculars free with your paid subscription. Call now.
Comcast Newsmakers segments on CNN's Headline News are becoming a big success. Host Lynn Doyle asks her VIPs all the right questions. Lynn was recently a guest on Family Talk, where viewers got to call in and voice their opinions.
I believe the local government is what affects us all most.
I'm a fan of your Newsmaker show. I've been watching for a long time.
You're so relaxed with your guests.
Watch Comcast Newsmakers every half hour on CNN's Headline News.
It's Hoops Heaven on the Comcast Network. It's the Atlantic 10. It's the Ivy League. It's the Big East. It's the Patriot League. It's America East. It's the MAC. It's the Northeast Conference. It's 76 games of college basketball, men's and women's. It's top 20 teams. It's New Jersey. It's Philadelphia. It's the region's best. So keep it here all season long and get a little bit of Hoops Heaven on the Comcast Network.
Welcome to McGonigle Hall, where the Temple Owls hold a 6-point advantage over the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Shandu McNeil, the senior, is closing in on the career steals at Bonnies, and here he comes and strips Leonard Stewart and then uses his quickness to go in for an easy layup. Temple's been doing it on the offensive end by trying to get the ball in the Mark Jackson. They're setting him up by Pepe Sanchez over to Stewart. Stewart had a good first half. They have to come out to defend him. Jackson using the big body inside to clear off people and to lay it in for 2. Stay with us as we'll be back with more Atlantic 10 action from McGonigle Hall.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a full synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a natural look, so I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look called Just for Men.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away gray, bring back your natural look, and condition hair.
It's a sure thing.
Just for Men, the sure thing for a natural look. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
It's hard to find words to describe what it feels like when you truly connect in life. Well, come to think of it, we can think of a couple. At Comcast, we've got everything from stuff that really touches you to things that help you get in touch from anywhere, faster than ever before. In fact, Comcast even connects in ways you might not expect from a cable company. Because if you're going to connect with us, the least we can do is connect with you. Comcast, everything you connect with.
Catch all the excitement of college basketball as the Comcast Network continues with Hoop 7. We cover more games of your favorite teams from Philadelphia and New Jersey. Let the Comcast Network be your source for men's and women's NCAA basketball. We'll give you exclusive coverage on and off the court. So check out Hoop 7 exclusively on the Comcast Network.
Down as a pimp. I never could have outfought Santana.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Their inexplicable behavior continues. Got to go now. Braveheart is on.
It's not TV. It's HBO.
But I didn't know till this day that it was Cheney all along.
Today's game is being brought to you by the Discovery Channel. Explore your world. Temple with the lead by 6 at the break. Look at the field goal percentage for the Bonnies and the battle on the boards won thus far by the Owls.
And the Bonnies are going to have to turn that around. They have not shot the ball well all year long. If they're not going to shoot the ball, they got to get second chance opportunities.
St. Bonaventure was right there for the first 15 minutes, but then they were outscored 7-0 over the last 5:50.
Well, turnovers, you see 11 for Temple, which is way over their average.
Individual scoring leaders, win of St. Bonaventure with 10, and Jackson for Temple, no surprise there with 9. Bonnie's 5 for 21 from trifecta land in the first half. Here we go, second half of play. Temple will inbound. Keep in mind, last year, 2 very tight games played between these two clubs. 58-56 at Philly, 57-54 at Olean. Both victories belonging to the Owls. Sanchez goes inside. Jackson, and a foul call.
And that was a triple team by the Bonnies. First half, first play, go into Jackson, establish it. First play, second half, go into Jackson. The Temple Owls, the other teammates of Jackson can't forget to keep going into him for a while because he's either going to get it and get a good move to the basket or he's going to get fouled.
So Jackson goes to the line. That's the 3rd foul on Palmer. 2 for Jackson. And he connects on the first. Last year averaged 15.7 and 9.9 after transferring from VCU. Made the conference first team. He is an excellent free throw shooter. The only one he missed in this game was the one where there was that lane violation, but I don't think it was going in anyway.
And he has such a soft touch for a 6'10" man.
So bridging the first and second half now, the run is 9. Win, missing the 3. Rebound, Leonard Stewart if he can save it, and he does. Here's Sanchez. Brokenborough Drops it down to Barnes. Nice move by Lamont Barnes, the freshman from Hopkins, Kentucky.
And we haven't seen much of that on the year, only averaging 5 points a game. But they're a confident Lamont Barnes. Took his time, turned and faced, a little power dribble to the inside, and then accelerated over everyone.
22nd timeout taken by the Bonnies. We played only 52 seconds, but Temple has outscored St. Bonaventure 4-0 here in the second half.
Lamont Barnes doing a good job receiving the ball, sitting down position, feels Blackwell. He knows he can go to the middle of the floor, and there's your soft touch for 2. Very difficult for the big guys when you're a freshman to sit down there, accept the basketball, and then make the move. You see Nate Blackwell, the great guard at Temple, helping out the big guys. What's Nate talking to the big guys? He was a guard that shoot from 30 feet. He never went inside.
There's a look at the run, which bridges the first and second half, and the Bonnies just need a field goal, get some confidence back. Shandu McNeil penetrates outside McFarland, open, fires, hits, and it's a 3. And boy, was that needed.
You can't be tentative against this matchup zone at Temple. His second 3-pointer on the afternoon.
Temple breaks the pressure. Stewart had an open man, finally gets it to Barnes, who misses. Barnes again, and he draws the foul.
Well, Lamont Barnes had the easy pass for Stewart, missed a wide open layup for Cheney, but gets back with the offensive rebound and stays with it. Did not hang his head. A lot of people who miss a layup this close to the basket and you're 6'9" would hang your head, but he stays quick feet and quick jumper to go right back up, and you see the foul by McFarland.
Lamont Barnes, a candidate for Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. Didn't go play for Rick Pitino and the Wildcats. I think there was just too much talent there.
Louisville was trying to get him, and Denny Crum.
36-26, 10-point lead for Temple. Sanchez knocks it away, picked off by McNeil.
That pass diagonal is not a bad idea, but it's too high, and now it gives the defense a chance to get back and get their cut down the angle.
Temple playing that matchup zone extremely well right now. 3-point field goal by Wynn.
And that's what they need, a few more of them. He's shooting at a 36% clip from 3-point range, the freshman Tim Wynn.
So 2 buckets in the second half for the Bonnies, both 3-pointers. And the Temple lead is back to 7. Broken Barrel penetrates, pulls up, air ball. Wynn has it. Now Wynn in transition. Kicks it to McNeil. Palmer, who's been quiet. Back to McNeil. He buries another 3. And it's a 4-point game.
Bruce, that was great transition basketball, and off the dribble drive of McNeil to stay under control. Palmer was ready to accept and shoot the basketball.
Broken Barrel missing. Barnes with the rebound. Foul. Not a bad foul at all by Robert Blackwell. So he puts Barnes on the line instead of giving away an uncontested jam.
And that's a good move, but what Temple's doing, they're attacking the full court pressure by the Bonnies, in a sense trying to score the basketball. Brookenborough can't get it, but again, we've seen Lamont Barnes very active here early in the second half, and he'll go to the line. He already has 7 points on the contest.
Barnes high this year, 10 against Tulane. He's got 8 points in the ball game.
Scored 1,500 points and grabbed 850 rebounds at University Heights High School in Hopkins, Kentucky, so he knows how to score the ball.
And he's got the perfect Temple body. I mean, he fits that petite, Ivy look, doesn't he?
He does. He's an athlete, 6'9". He's only going to get better when he understands his zone, doesn't think, and more instinct on the zone.
Names change, system remains. McNeil to Palmer. Still loose inside. Sanchez with the rebound. He's got 9 boards in the game. Huey Futch. Rebound comes down. Palmer loses the handle out of bounds. The shot clock went off. Some problem with it resetting. But smartly, the players did not stop.
Yeah, we heard a couple dull horns there. But Palmer can't handle the dribble here. Pepe goes by, and crossover dribble was a good move, but when he got on the left hand, he lost it.
Palmer is struggling. He's got only 2 points. He's 1 for 8 from the field.
And that's how you break the press, throw over the top. Jackson with the football pass, the hard, strong wrist pass.
Sanchez looks inside for Jackson. Instead goes to Barnes. Jackson with a long rebound. And it's tipped in by Barnes, who's got double figures. 11 points for Barnes. That's his season high, which is obviously a career high for the freshman. He also has 6 rebounds, 5 in the offensive end.
He's being very active. I don't know if John Cheney talked to him at halftime, but Jackson makes the move. Jackson trying to be a swing forward there instead of ramming it home. Lamont Barnes there.
Blackwell misses. Rebound pulled down by Huey Futch, who is usually getting annihilated by John Cheney.
1 and done for the Bonnies here early in the second half. No offensive rebounding.
8-point lead for Temple. 15:40 to go. Second half. Sanchez. Leonard Stewart posting up against Palmer, and he is fouled by Blackwell from the weak side. And that will put Leonard on the line. He's still grabbing that right wrist.
Well, Leonard Stewart has been a force inside, taking the ball to the hole, not relying on the jump shot, but the power moves inside. Leonard Stewart, the second leading rebounder. Defense falls down for the Bonnies. He takes it right to Blackwell, and you saw he's got his right shooting wrist, which he hurt in the first half, and he banged it on the rim again.
Third foul on Blackwell, who goes to the bench. Antoine Wills, number 20, a sophomore, into the game for the first time for the Bonnies.
Oh, he's wincing in pain there. I don't know that pain, and I know you know of banging your hand on the rim.
Nope.
I can't relate to that.
I banged it on a shoebox in the basement. Bonnie's going small now with 3 guards. And you think here comes the press. So Stewart makes the free throw, 1 for 2. And Temple's lead is 41-32. Well, a trio of trifectas brought the Bonnies back momentarily, but now the Owls have extended their lead to 9.
There's a lot of teas out there, but there's only one classic tea, the Hanes Beefy Tea. For little guys, or big guys. For colors. For softness, nothing is softer, absolutely nothing. Remember, without beefy, it's just a tea.
Take the journey. Sidetrack, where ancient Egyptians majored drug addicts. Cocaine and nicotine, recently found in mummies, suggest they were, but these substances weren't actually discovered for another 2,000 years. Were they embalmed or bombed? You decide. The Curse of the Cocaine Mummies on Sidetrack, Monday at 9 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Hi, I'm Paul Dillon of Comcast Let's Cook. Each week on Let's Cook, we do new and exciting food. We have a taste for everybody. We make stocks, sauces, soups, entrees. Each week it's a different menu, new and exciting food, current trends, low fat. That's Comcast Let's Cook, only on the Comcast Network.
Well, a young Temple fan enjoying the action thus far with the Owls up by 9.
Well, Mark Jackson tries to make a smooth move. He's forced, but tries to be smooth here against Tim Wynn. Lays it up easy. John Cheney not happy with the strong move. But Lamont Barnes, who has been all over the glass and the rim in the second half, tips it in. Lamont Barnes with 11 points in the game.
Second half shooting. All 3 field goals for St. Bonaventure have come from the 3-point route. Bonnies trail by 9. Antoine Wills on the floor with McNeil and Wynn. McFarland from South Jersey missing. Here comes Sanchez. Sanchez very cool. He's got a lot of Brunson's qualities. Shot clock down to 12. Huey Futch open for 3. Huey gets his own board. Huey got poked in the eye. And Wynn comes down with the ball. Nice look by Wynn to McFarland.
And that's the first easy bucket the Bonnies have had all afternoon. Breaking into transition basketball. Now they get the quick turnover with it. Let's see if they can do something.
And I like the Bonnies in transition. I almost think that in this type of ball game, if they can generate it.
But you can against Temple. Temple won't allow Jim Barron's team to run. It's like playing Princeton with Kirill there or John Cheney with Temple. You're not going to run. You better play a half-court set and be prepared to play it.
Sanchez gets the rebound on the miss by Durham. He's got 10 rebounds in the game. Temple winning the battle in the paint, 26-4 points in the paint.
And Bruce, you said in the paint, that's rebounding the basketball also. And the Bonnies are not a good rebounding team.
Brokenborough on the baseline. Has it blocked by Wills. It hit the side support. And a foul call. Check the A10 scoreboard from today. GW with a 20-point lead at Duquesne, breaking out in the second half. And our next TV game tomorrow will be up in Amherst as UMass hosts Virginia Tech. 2 o'clock, check your local listings tomorrow. UMass coming off the victory in Philadelphia over LaSalle, heading back home. They'll take on Bill Foster and Virginia Tech.
Get a chance to see that Ace Custis. If you like a swing forward who's quick to the basket, that's Ace Custis.
Jim Barron in his 5th year at St. Bonaventure has brought back a tremendous amount of enthusiasm to the Riley Center. They're averaging over 5,000 fans per game this year. Shandu McNeil to Antoine Wills, who throws up an air ball, and the rebound is pulled in by Lamont Barnes. He's got 8 rebounds. Jackson knocked away, and Tim Wynn is everywhere.
And John Cheney, we get a shot. He's just disgusted with Pepe Sanchez saying, what are you doing? We don't want to throw that kind of pass to a 6'10 guy still running with the ball. He's going to do anything but catch the ball and put it in the hall. That was a turnover written all over it.
Temple 42, St. Bonaventure 34, 13:35 to go, second half. Sanchez throws it. Barnes connects. Lamont Barnes is on fire in this second half. He's got 13 points.
Can Sanchez say to John Cheney, I don't understand you because he's from Argentina?
No.
Screaming at him.
He speaks very good English, Eddie. Out of bounds went McNeil, but it was last touched by the Owls. And now Blackwell back in replacing Durham.
I don't think there's ever been a freshman at Temple that Sanchez has thrown passes that John Cheney lets him throw. Maybe looking back to Howard Evans. Howie Evans couldn't even throw passes like that. Sanchez has a little bit of a green light.
Wynn misses the 3. And the rebound pulled down by Barnes. Here's Stewart.
Good job by Stewart not to rush it, calm it down.
Oh, great look by Sanchez to Jackson. And he barrels over Chris Lumsden. And the Owls have their biggest lead, 12 points. Jackson has 13.
Right through the teeth of the defense of the Bonnies.
McNeil missing, Jackson rebound. And Jackson now with 8 boards to go with his 13 points, and he is asserting himself.
Jim Barron and his staff have to be concerned with Temple now up 12. They got to put up the full court pressure, try to get a couple turnovers.
Sanchez deals to Stewart. He goes all the way. That's an offensive foul. That time there was no doubt about it. Lumsden had good position.
Not the decision. Leonard Stewart has played a good floor game right here. He takes off Lumsden, as you said, used his feet to get in there. Stewart has to rotate the basketball. Brokenborough was wide open for a shot.
Bruce Beck, Ed Stefanski at McGonigle Hall, where the Owls lead the Bonnies 46-34. 12:20 to go. Second half, McNeil, good look. Jumper hit by Blackwell. So the former BC transfer has the bucket. And his first field goal. Brokenborough's pass. Handled by Barnes, who draws the foul. And it's an intentional foul. I don't think Lumsden agrees with that, nor does Jim Barron. But it will be 2+ possession.
One thing Jim Barron didn't know, if Temple would attack and try to score, Broken Barrel brings the defense, lumps into him. Lamont Barnes can't get the handle, gets it back, and there's your foul and pushes him down hard with that right arm. A lot of times you want to go, it looks like he wasn't playing the ball. He was going after Lamont Barnes' body instead of playing the basketball when he committed the foul.
So Barnes will get 2, and Temple will keep possession. Barnes burying the first. He led University Heights to the Class A title in Kentucky last year. And as Ed mentioned, had some terrific high school numbers. And today, he is confirming the reputation that he brought with him to Temple. Barnes with 15 points and 9 rebounds. He has the rebound again, 17 points for Lamont Barnes, the 6'9" freshman, having the best game of his 10-game college career.
Come out party for Lamont Barnes, and the McGonigle faithful are on their feet.
Timeout, St. Bonaventure. Temple with their biggest lead of the ball game. They lead by 14. The Barnes door wide open. And you can see Lamont doing the job on the offensive glass.
Bruce, how he keeps it up there. A lot of big guys will bring it down so the small guards can come and slap the ball away. Lamont Barnes gets the rebound, keeps it over his head, and is able to put it back in the basket. He's been very quick to the basketball, and he's also a quick jumper. He gets up and down the floor well. Lamont Barnes, 17 points, 9 rebounds. His best game so far this year. He had a double against Tulane, 10 points, 10 rebounds. He's just burying that record right now.
I'll tell you, he looks very confident out there. He's got a good bounce. He's 6'9", 215. And as far as rebounding is concerned in this game, it is very much one-sided. We expected Temple to have the edge, but the differential of 21 is huge.
I don't think the Bonnies expected Lamont Barnes to be this active. He is the difference this afternoon.
Foul call. It's a hack on Barnes, perhaps coming out of his shoes a little bit right now. In the second half, Ed, in 8 minutes, he's got 15 points and 7 rebounds.
Instant offense for John Cheney.
We've got timeout with the Owls of Temple leading by 14. We'll be back.
A regional university with a national reputation is St. Bonaventure University. Money Magazine has again ranked St. Bonaventure as one of the best buys among private colleges and universities in the Northeast. Outstanding athletics, academics, and supportive community enable St. Bonaventure to challenge your mind and prepare you for success in life and a career. For more information or to schedule a tour of St. Bonaventure University, call 1-800-462-5050 and start your St. Bonaventure journey.
If you were an ostrich, you wouldn't need cable. You wouldn't be interested in watching any movie you choose whenever you want. You wouldn't know that soon you'll be able to access and play tons of video games, or communicate through your computer thousands of times faster than your phone line, and make a phone call to your neighbor or the Ukraine, all using the same technology. Nah, you wouldn't embrace the future. But then again, you're no ostrich. Cable, all you need to navigate the future.
Spend a weekend with a few good friends. Join Comcast for an exclusive movie marathon featuring blockbuster hits free from HBO and Cinemax. 3 days of non-stop movies, including The Bridges of Madison County, Sense and Sensibility, and Forrest Gump. Curl up with a few good friends for our movie marathon weekend. Free for Comcast viewers only.
Well, it has been a show put on by Lamont Barnes of the Temple Owls here in the second half. The freshman, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and in the second half alone, 15 and 7. The numbers are career highs. Meanwhile, a quick bucket scored by the Bonnies. Palmer gets it, only his second field goal of the game. He's got 4. Remember, St. Bonaventure was down 12 in the first half of last year's game at McGonigle. They came back to lose by 2. So they know how to come back, and they've been there against the Owls before. Loose ball picked up by Barnes. He saves it. Jackson gets the feed from Leonard Stewart.
Everything going right for the Temple Houses. Lamont Barnes falling on the ground. He comes up with the loose ball, finds Stewart. Good ball movement and unselfish play by the Owls.
Jim Wynn hands to Shandu McNeil. John Palmer, he hits it. And if Palmer can heat up, the Bonnies have time. Under 10:50 now to play. 7 for Palmer.
Palmer has been taken away by that matchup zone defense. They can do that. He's now taking his game perimeter-wise and nails it home, rattles it home.
It's a good point, Ed. Quietly sometimes that matchup just takes you out of the game, doesn't it?
John Cheney can take 1 or 2 guys out of the game if he wants to. Maybe he's decided to take Palmer out of it.
Stewart goes glass.
I love from Leonard Stewart stopping and using the glass. A lot of players will go straight on. I believe it's easier to hit it on the top of the box and knock it in.
9 for Stewart. McNeil runs the baseline, pushed out of bounds. That's a foul. It's on Barnes.
Now, John Cheney will find a few things to talk to Lamont because he has career high in both points and rebounds. He'll have to find something. He'll say, Lamont, you've got to move your feet and take that baseline away. You can't let people penetrate baseline.
3rd foul on Barnes. Tim Wynn triggers in. McNeil picks it up in the backcourt. McFarland. Win. Palmer gets the rebound and he draws the foul. And you know, if you're being taken out of the game by a defensive scheme, you can make your own breaks by getting offensive rebounds.
And that's what he's doing. He's doing it on the floor game right now as he follows the flight of the basketball. See, it's going to come off, and he makes a good move to go inside the freshman, and Lamont Barnes has picked up another foul.
Palmer, well below his season average.
He averaged 17 points a game. He had 28 points versus Buffalo, 27 versus Alabama Birmingham in that Arizona State tournament. He can score the basketball.
So Palmer, the A-10 player of the week last week, holds the Bonnies within 11.
Full court pressure by the Bonnies. Temple's had ease in throwing over the top.
Broken barrel through the hands of Jackson. He gets it back, and the Owls are getting breaks.
Big-time breaks. That was a turnover for Jim Barron and the Bonnies, but the ball's just slipping through their hands and going into the Temple Owls cherry and white uniforms.
Cherry and white.
Thank you. That's their color. It's official.
McFarland throws it away. It was knocked out of bounds last touch by a Temple player. You think about it, the last couple times down the floor, a couple of loose balls in there, and they turned it into offensive hoops to the Owls.
Jim Barron not having a lot of luck this afternoon. The ball is just going Temple's way.
But with McFarland on the floor and Palmer and Wynn, if they make some threes, they can get back in it. Foul called on the penetration. It'll be a 2-shot foul. No, it will not be a 2-shot foul. It'll be a reach on Leonard Stewart. And St. Bonaventure will inbound. That's the 3rd foul on Stewart. Barnes also has 3. McNeil pops. Rebound Stewart. Temple, not a great free throw shooting team, 63%, but you don't like to play catch-up against the Owls because the number of possessions you get in the game are certainly lessened. Good steal, McNeil. That pulls them closer to the all-time record with the Bonnies. Palmer. Rebound Jackson.
See, they're the buckets they gotta make with the good steal transition. A wide open look by Rashawn Palmer, can't get it going.
Timeout Temple. And John Cheney throws his coat on the floor. He is really hot about something.
He's not happy with the way they're passing the ball around. He's not happy with Jackson not catching the basketball first. The center has had a couple opportunities to catch it hard and put it in the hole.
13-point lead for Temple. Will take timeout.
The men's hair care experts at Consort have a message for guys losing it a little. The rest of you guys, go blow dry something. So, what are you gonna do about it? The weave? The great comb over? There's a new solution. The Consort Hair Regrowth System. Scalp cleaning shampoo, topical solution with minoxidil without a prescription. It's a fact. Consort's the only system that cleans the scalp and regrows hair in one package. Stand back. I'm gonna try it. Hey, Consort can regrow hair.
What happens in the world of business today could affect your business tomorrow. Moneyline with Lou Dobbs brings perspective and insight to business news by providing in-depth reports and interviews with influential economic and government leaders, plus a complete wrap-up of financial markets and the big winners and losers on Wall Street. Nobody covers the world of business like Moneyline with Lou Dobbs, weeknights, 7 Eastern on CNN.
On February 24th, $500,000 will be on the line, and only 4 guys get a shot at it. The Senior Tour's clutch players head-to-head in an event you can't see anywhere else but TBS. The Senior Slam at Los Cabos, Mexico, February 24th and 25th in prime time, only on TBS.
Well, the Owls are cruising right now, up by 13, but Shandu McNeil trying to turn things around for the Bonnies.
He leaves his man defensively. You see coming right over. He anticipates the pass. Jackson doesn't come to the basketball. Now you're in trouble when he's in the open court flying with the ball.
McNeil chasing Vanderpool's all-time record for steals. He is closing in within 3. Bad shot. Rebound pulled down by McNeil. McNeil in transition. Waits for Wynn. McFarland. Way short on the 3. Good hustle by McFarland, and he forces a held ball, and the arrow favors St. Bonaventure, so a good follow by McFarland.
McFarland a little late getting it off, and good defense by Leonard Stewart to fly at him. Shooting the basketball has been the problem for the Bonnies. Only 28%. Temple 1 for 11, 9%. Temple hasn't shot that ball from three-point range all year long. They are 10th in the Atlantic 10 from three-point range.
Win. In and out. And it still will be St. Bonaventure basketball. Well, the thing about Temple in this game, it's not so important how many points they get from long range because they have such a decisive edge on the inside.
They should just keep banging it inside. Go to Mark Jackson, and Lamont Barnes having a career game.
Good hands by Stewart, picked up by McNeil, and Shandu puts it in.
And that's a soft touch from the foul line. His 10th point on the afternoon. He gets the nice roll here at McGonigle.
Here's the full court pressure employed by Jim Barron and the Bonnies. Under 8 minutes to play now. So the Bonnies need to make up some of the distance between them and Temple, trailing by 11.
Bonnies go straight man-to-man, down double deficit here and trying to get some traps and take some chances.
Stewart tied up. Jackson. Oh, what a soft touch from Mark Jackson.
And he shows that next level of the NBA, that little range out there. A nice 15-foot jumper with the soft hands.
19 points for Jackson on 7 for 12 shooting. Blackwell. He misses the 3. Jackson has the rebound. So a double-double for Mark Jackson. Second time this year at a double-double against Penn. And he is hammered from behind by Robert Blackwell. And that is over the limit now on the Bonnies. So Mark Jackson will go to the free throw line for 1 and 1.
The Bonnies just have no one to match up with Mr. Jackson right there. No one is strong, don't have the height against them. This man is an all-around basketball player, as we've seen rebounding the ball, shooting, and Blackwell has picked up his 4th foul.
Mark Jackson, Catholic League MVP at Roman Catholic High School. Huey Futch back in, replacing Leonard Stewart. He's played a solid ball game, 9 points, 4 boards.
John Cheney usually rests Mark Jackson. He only plays 39.8 minutes out of the 40 minutes he can play. So he gets 20 seconds rest a game.
It is a Temple tradition to play the starters until they fall. 15-point lead for the Owls, biggest of the ball game. And Palmer in traffic, losing it out of bounds, and Rashawn Palmer just has been unable to get on track.
Well, the ball goes in the middle. Rashawn Palmer turns and faces. Jim Barron's offense sees 3 defenders for Temple. You can't drive against 3 defenders. The 8th St. Bonaventure turnover.
David Capers is in. Palmer goes out. Again, the Bonnies go small. David Capers, who broke his wrist last year, was a medical redshirt. Sanchez rejected by Capers.
Good quickness there by David Capers. Anticipation, and showed the leaping ability on Pepe Sanchez.
Remember, he came in, Capers, with high credentials, St. Peter's Prep in New Brunswick before the injury last year. Barnes from Jackson. And I think Jackson's passing is very underrated.
And it was a good pass, it was the perfect lob pass and a good slice by Lamont Barnes to get inside.
McNeil scores on the baseline. Quick timeout called by the Bonnies so they can set up their press. 6:15 left in the ball game. It's a 15-point lead for the Temple Owls at McGonigle.
Take the journey. Sidetrack, where ancient Egyptians majored drug addicts. Cocaine and nicotine recently found in mummies suggest they were, but these substances weren't actually discovered for another 2,000 years. Were they embalmed or bombed? You decide. The Curse of the Cocaine Mummies on Sidetrack, Monday at 9 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
What's the matter?
I am not accustomed to seeing human Christmas trees in August.
It happens to the best of us.
I wish I was somebody else.
And it can bring out the worst in us.
You jealous? Jealous because your brother getting married.
Growing up is the one thing no one can teach you how to do.
Do you think I will be pretty?
I think when you fill out, you will do very well.
Alfre Woodard, Anna Paquin, the member of the wedding from USA Pictures. Premiering Wednesday, January 29th.
News travels fast. This just into headline news. That's why people everywhere turn to Headline News. For continuously updated news, business, sports, and entertainment, staying in touch with the world has never been easier. Because it doesn't matter what hour of the day it is, the time for Headline News is always now. Headline News, a CNN network.
Well, thus far, it's been a knockout for the Temple Owls, who lead St. Bonaventure 62-47 with 6:19 left in the second half. I'm Bruce Beck, along with Ed Stefanski at McGonigle Hall. And Ed, the challenge for St. Bonaventure now, as you see the situation remaining, is to score quickly, set up their press, and try to get that ball on some turnovers. And there's one.
Well, they got the turnover, the 16th turnover for Temple. Now can they convert on the offensive end? That's been their problem.
Shandu McNeil, David Capers, Tim Wynn, Robert Blackwell, and Kenny McFarland on the floor for St. Bonaventure. There's McFarland, triggers out to Blackwell, back to McFarland, nice two-man play. Mark Jackson corrals the board.
That was excellent execution off the timeout by Jim Barron's club. They just can't convert it.
Pepe Sanchez penetrates, loses the handle, gets away with a walk, hands to Barnes, and Barnes has 21 points.
Who picks up the loose ball? Who's around the basket, around the ball? Lamont Barnes.
19 in the second half for Barnes. Wynn missing the three. Foul called underneath. It's on Mark Jackson.
See, I like that, and especially a play-by-play guy. Mark Jackson puts his hand up straight on the foul.
You're right.
It's easy to see who picked up the foul.
Hey, there's no question he is the leader of this team. That's his first personal. He's only a junior, but of course he is older because he transferred from VCU and sat out the year.
Atlantic 10 has to be happy with Roman Catholic saying Larry Kentner to UMass, Donnie Carr to LaSalle, Arthur Davis to St. Joe, and Jackson to Temple.
It's like the feeder program.
A couple other guys still at Roman Catholic that the Atlantic 10 would like to get.
A little over 5 minutes to play. Temple looking for their first conference victory, leading by 17 over the Bonnies. Brokenborough kicks it out to Sanchez. Pepe missing, out of bounds, last touch by Temple.
Good perimeter ball movement by the Temple Owls. A good look for John Cheney, but John Cheney's never going to be happy. He's a perfectionist, and with those 16 turnovers, definitely not going to be happy.
Watch your back, Lamont!
Wynn penetrates. Beautiful move by Tim Wynn with the floater. Wynn with 17 has been one of the few sources of productivity for St. Bonaventure in the game. A 20-second timeout taken by Temple. Their lead is 15. Temple's losses this year to Wisconsin in overtime, at Tulsa, Oregon, and Rhode Island in overtime.
Well, Oregon was a bad loss. Right down to the end, they were right in the game, but the last 4 minutes, Temple just shut off, and Oregon just went on a big run there to crush them in that out there in Oregon. Wisconsin's a tough ball club. Rhode Island, we know, is one of the top teams in the Atlantic 10. The surprise is for a team in the Atlantic 10, Rhode Island to come in. The 4th win for Al Skinner's team at McGonigle. He leads all coaches ever come in against John Cheney.
Well, to summarize things today, in the paint, it's been all Temple. From three-point land, yes, the struggles continue for St. Bonaventure. And the boards belong to the Owls. Steele, Capers missing. And a foul called on Jackson pushing. So St. Bonaventure's had some chances, and they just have not been able to convert.
Defense is excellent for St. Bonaventure, and for Jim Barron's club all year long, they've been doing a good job in defense. They're second in the Atlantic 10 on three-point defense, third on field goal defense. It's been on the offensive end. Once they get the ball back, they can't convert.
Foul was called on Wynn, my mistake, so Jackson will shoot on the other end. Jackson missing the front end of the one-on-one. And the Bonnies now must play with an urgency.
And they got to shoot the three. They need the three ball. Someone has to get hot.
Down by 15 with 4:23 to play.
Notice Temple's zone defense extended because they know they have to shoot the three. So they're going to extend that zone defense.
McFarland. Rebound Jackson. He's just a gobbler in there.
I think a little tentative. There's a unforced turnovers. Pepe Johnson just fell to the ground, but St. Bonaventure very tentative in shooting the basketball this afternoon. Jim Barron's team, he knew coming into the game they'd have to shoot with confidence. When they had the shot, go for it, then hit the offensive glass.
Boy, John Cheney, whether they win this game or not, is going to be very unhappy because 17 turnovers, that's unacceptable. He may call practice after this game.
It's too late in the afternoon, 4 o'clock almost.
Of course, Cheney known for those early morning practices, but I remember a ball player telling me once they were up at the half, 50 to 25 or something. He came into the locker room and John was furious because they had turned it over 10 times. 15-point lead Owls. 3:45 left. Sanchez. Huey Futch. Jackson there for the rebound. He is like a vacuum cleaner on both ends.
Well, what's happening now, Bonaventure has to take chances. That really messes up your rebounding scheme defensively. And Jackson on the weak side rebound, his easiest 2 points on the afternoon.
McNeil running along the baseline, sends it back to Capers. He misses, long rebound to Sanchez. 2-on-2. Back outside Jackson.
And that's
smart play.
Yeah, smart point guard play. Cheney will like that. Compliment him here. He's just going to handle it.
Under 3 minutes to play. This game belongs to the Owls. Sanchez, 11 rebounds this afternoon. Good look to a wide open Barnes. There's the punctuation mark. 23 points, 10 rebounds for Lamont Barnes, the freshman from Kentucky. And this is coming out party. Win, blocked by Jackson. So Jackson with 23 points, 12 rebounds, and a couple of blocks. And the big men just dominated the game. Barnes and Jackson. Leonard Stewart played well. Sanchez got the rebound. And the Temple matchup zone was outstanding.
Tough time to catch the Owls when they just lost to Rhode Island in this building. They came out with a purpose.
I was thinking of that earlier as well. Out of bounds, last touch by Barnes. Julian Dunkley coming back in. And, you know, Jim Barron talked to me earlier today. He's very excited about his club. He got players back who were injured last year in Durham and in Lumsden and in Capers. He's got the young man in Wynn, and he's very high on his ball club. And yet what we've seen in the A-10 this year, Dayton was blown out one day and they beat Xavier the next. So yeah, with youth and inexperience, Ed, I think you see a lot of inconsistency.
Exactly. They can bounce back because they play such good defense. The key is the points. They've averaged 76 points in the last 8 games. They're under 50, 49. Temple can do that against in the matchup zone.
Timeout taken by the Owls. I also like the athleticism of the Bonnies when you got players such as Palmer and McFarland and Singleton. We'll take timeout with Temple in command down the stretch.
There's a lot of teas out there, but there's only one classic tea, the Hanes Beef and Tea. For little guys, or big guys. For colors. For softness, nothing is softer, absolutely nothing. Remember, without beefy, it's just a tea.
Take the journey. Sidetrack, where ancient Egyptians majored drug addicts. Cocaine and nicotine recently.
Pine Hills course, the golfers at Myrtlewood have the best of both worlds.
Are they embalmed or bombed? You decide. The Curse of the Cocaine Mummies on Sidetrack, Monday at 9 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
Hold it. This isn't you, it's an older guy.
Oh, that was before I got rid of my gray hair with Just for Men hair color.
Come on, that's too natural to be hair coloring.
Just for Men. Apply and in 5 minutes rinse. Gray is blended away for a totally natural look.
Think it'll work for me?
In 5 minutes.
Just for Men looks too natural to be hair coloring. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
What a coming out party for Lamont Barnes, 6'9", 215 freshman, University Heights, Hopkins, Kentucky. Scouting report on him coming into today. Whole package, good shooter, good rebounder. Before he's done, a lot of people think he'll be one of the best big men ever at Temple. Dean Demopoulos said last night he's big, strong, athletic, and quick, and he's a good compliment to Jackson.
Well, that's why I really like the latter. He's a good compliment to Jackson. I like to play next to Jackson at 6'9", and his kind of athletic ability.
1 second on the shot clock, and the shot too late, so a violation against the Owls. Lamond Adams, who's an excellent cornerback on the Owls football team, he's on the floor. Huey Futch goes to the bench. And also on the floor for Temple is Damian Reed, Keaton Sanders. Win bombs. He misses, and the rebound comes down to Keaton Sanders, freshman from Georgia. Here's Lamond Adams out of the backcourt. Under a minute to play. Temple 68, St. Bonaventure 49. Tim Wynn leading the Bonnies with 17 points. McNeil at 12. But Palmer, a very quiet 9 points. Keaton Sanders puts it up, and it's still loose. Finally, it will be Bonaventure ball.
They're going to have to wipe down that ball. You always like balance scoring. In the second half, where Temple's put this game away, they have 39 points they've scored. But how about this? 35 of the 39 points have come from the freshman Lamont Barnes and the junior Mark Jackson. Everything inside.
Barnes finally goes to the bench. 21 points, 8 rebounds in the second half alone. Just a monstrous performance by Lamont Barnes. 3-point field goal nailed by David Capers. But it's too little, too late for the Bonnies, trailing 68-52. So Temple will improve today to 6-4, 1-1 in the league. And they found someone up front to go with Mark Jackson.
That Lamont Barnes is going to be a nice compliment. Let's give Bernard Stewart credit. He had a good job at that swing forward.
Yes, he did. Capers pulls it down, loses the handle. Under 10 seconds to play. McFarland fouled by Keaton Sanders. So the Bonnies setting an A-10 record today, which I don't think they'll be happy about because it was an A-10 record for attempts on 3-point field goals, 42. But they did not make enough. They shot it very poorly from downtown, making only 10 for 42. Early on, the strategy seemed to work. Yeah, they were in the ball game for the first 15 minutes.
Well, what's Jim Barron, his assistant Joe Lombardi, going to do? They're going to have to shoot from the outside. They don't have anyone to push the ball inside to get that inside-outside scoring like Mr. Jackson from Temple. So he has to rely on the three-point range when you're playing a matchup zone of Cheney's.
McFarland 1 for 2. Temple was 15 for 20 from the line. The Bonnies did not go to the line very much in this one, going 5 for 6. And that's the ball game. An impressive showing at McGonigle by John Cheney and the Owls as they go on a 7-0 run to end the first half and parlay that into a 15-point victory.
Well, a strong performance by the Temple Owls, especially inside with Barnes and Jackson both nominating the scoring and rebounding margins.
It looks right now as though you don't want to play Temple in February. They're only going to get better. Pepe Sanchez did a solid job at the point, and up front, Jackson and Lamont Barnes. Final score 68-53, Temple.